Hi, my name is Bethany DeBlaay, and I'm one of the bloggers on the My Best Size website. And I want to share with you two of my favorite exercises that I use with my students in my Pilates classes, and I certainly use them at home as well. And the first is called clam legs. And this is ideal for the glute area, the top of it, and the outer thigh. Anybody can do this exercise. The only person that might want to ask or run by their physician is somebody that has a lot of low back sensitivity due to an SI joint instability. So the first thing I would do is line myself up on the floor. And I'm going to use this block here today, but you could certainly use a pillow, even something off your sofa, anything would do. So I'm going to line up so that my shoulders are in line and my hips are in line, and that way my waist is off the floor. Sometimes we exercise like this, but it can put a crunch in your back. So if you line up with your pillow so that your shoulders are in line and your hips, your waist lifted off, not only will it help your abs work during the exercise, but it'll be better for your back. And then I'm going to line up my legs so that I'm bent like in a chair. 90 degrees at the hips, 90 degrees at the knees, and my feet are at the front edge. So if you were upright in a chair, you just want to lie yourself down on the floor, and that'll get you in the right position. And then the move is basically simple. Your feet are going to stay together, and as you exhale, you're going to lift your knee up as far as you can go without your hips moving. If your hips start to roll back, you'll end up using stronger muscles in the thigh, and you won't get into some of those weaker muscles in the glute and outer hip that we want to target. So again, as you exhale, feet stay together, and you would just lift that knee, keeping your hips steady, always trying to draw your abs in so that your waistline is lifted off the mat. And you should start to feel this right where my hand is pointing, so that would be just sort of the top of the bun's outer hip. As soon as you start to feel your low back, or if you start to feel the bones in your hip, or maybe you start to feel your quad, the front of your thigh kicking in, that will mean that these muscles on the top of the hips have fatigued and you're done. So I would aim for maybe 10 or so just to see how you feel. You might be able to do more or less. A smaller move is always better. So even if you're just lifting an inch in the beginning, but you can keep your hips steady, that would be better than going way over and rocking out. To make it harder, for those of you that are looking for a challenge, you could take a simple band like this, tie it around your legs, and add a little bit of extra resistance. This way, as you lift up, you're getting pull, and as you come down, you're working against the resistance. So you're both challenging the muscle as you shorten the fibers and as you lengthen them. Another thing you could do is grab a hand weight. There you go. And multitask. So while you're doing the clam leg exercise, you could also be doing something for your upper body. The second exercise I want to do for you is called oblique lifts, and this is wonderful for the side of the body. It's particularly going to challenge your obliques right here, internal and external, but you'll definitely feel it strength building and endurance in your shoulder and in the outside of the hip. Because there is some weight bearing in the shoulder, if you have any shoulder injury or sensitivity in that area, this exercise may not be for you, and you'd want to consult with your physician or a physical therapist before you tried it. We're going to lie down, in this case lining up the elbow, the hip, and the knee in a straight line. So you don't want to be bent at the hips, you want to be nice and flat at your hips. If this position causes you any discomfort, go ahead and just stick a pillow or a towel underneath one of those joint areas. You're going to inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, you're just going to press up, so you're just pressing off that knee, and you'll feel right away your whole side of the body engaging or tightening as you lift up. You want to make sure that this elbow is right underneath your shoulder. If you go out far like this, it's going to be way harder and much more weight bearing on that elbow and in the muscles in the shoulder joint. So make sure that elbow's right underneath you. You can do this exercise a couple ways. You can press up and just hold here, trying to build the endurance in the muscle, or you can lower and lift. And I like to do a combination for myself. So I'll do a few where I'm lowering and lifting and feeling those muscles engage, and then I'll press up and exhale to hold. And just make sure when you're holding the exercise, don't hold your breath. So make sure you keep breathing as you're holding. To make this exercise a little bit harder, the first thing you could do is just lift the top leg off. This takes any assistance you're getting out of the top leg away from the exercise. So you'll really feel it just down whichever side is towards the floor. Another thing you can do is just advance the position so that your legs are straight. And again, this is increasing the instability of the move, so you'll feel that challenge and you'll also feel that weight as you lift up. Another thing that I like to do is just take a ball, and I grabbed this from my kids' toy closet, so it doesn't have to be anything special. A pillow from your couch would work too, and put it between your knees. This is challenging, again, instability, but it's also going to help you engage your inner thighs. And as you do that, it should help you feel a little bit more the lower insertion of your oblique muscle in the side. So you'll feel it a little bit more in those lower abs as you squeeze on that ball and press up. So those are a few of my favorite exercises, and I hope you enjoy them at home too.